first tell us who you are and a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm Felix Stevenson, Chief. Most people know me as Chief, from the Huggabucks, drummer. I played with bands in the DC area from my teenage years through the 90s. Huggabucks was the main band, and I played with Prop Utensils with James Funk and Lil Benny for a while. And then I moved on to playing with Soul Patrol, which was a top 40 band, playing more covers with more jazz, R&B, soul, funk type of feel with Scooter from EU, a couple guys from EU. So I did that for a while, and then later I went into production. Well, during that time, towards the end of my drumming with the Huggabucks and Prop Utensils, I started to produce tracks and make music, make beats, and learned how to be a studio engineer, ended up buying equipment, learned how to work the equipment, and working with local rappers and like Scrapers, Gabby Mo, Top Notch Teamsters. So did that for a while, production, and during the process, I've amassed a variety of talents, numerous skills in my skill set, become pretty good at doing a lot of things due to the need to do them for lack of funding to pay for resources or to pay for others to get it done. And I kind of like the hands-on approach, so I learned to do a lot of the things myself when it comes to music production and mixing, mastering, and recording different instruments. I'm a drummer first, but now I have learned guitar, a little bass, keys, just what I need to do, whatever I need to do to get a track done, I'll get it done. So I'm Mr. DIY, Felix Stevenson, Chief, Chiefy Dog, Chief Rocker, Cheefism. Call me what you want as long as you call me.
So earlier you had mentioned that you did some stuff with the Scrapers. Were you a part of the Scrapers?
Yeah, it's funny how it happened. I was hanging with a buddy of mine, Eco, and he had a friend named Rome who was with the Scrapers rap group. So I came to the shop, the Scraper shop over in Chapel Oaks, while they were building the shop, and I met Tony Bird and Rome through my buddy Eco, and we were basically doing shirts. We were doing graphics for shirts, heat press shirts and silk screening for customers for a young guy died, and we'll do the RIP shirts, or we'll do shirts for neighborhoods, family reunions, and things like that. So we had like an art studio where we had all our computers, and we were working with Photoshop and Corel Draw and different apps to learn to do that. And in the midst of just hanging in the studio doing graphics and chopping it up about politics and music and rapping, just being as though we were around musicians, producers would come through, and so like the music was a side thing. I would just happen to be with Rome, who was a part of the Scrapers, and he, doing graphics. And then one day he was in the studio. We went to the studio just to tag along, me and Mustafa, and Rome was he pulled up a track, and I just ended up getting on the track. That was my first time rapping on the track. Rapping out loud, probably. I was just in the house writing. I was hanging, I was a drummer still, producing, hanging around a couple rappers. But during that time, I started writing a little bit. When our buddies Bill he would bring his ASR down to the Scraper shop, and Bill would be playing tracks and give us a tape with tracks. So I was writing the tracks, and so Rome was in the studio recording the tracks, and he pulled up one of Bill's tracks, and I ended up doing a verse on it, me and Mustafa. And the songs end up being I Feel You. So the next day, Rome had like the camcorder, the high 8, Super 8, them camcorders at the time. And, you know, being creative DIY dudes, he ended up shooting a video going around Chapel Oaks, shooting a video for the song. He let Tony Bird hear. Bird wanted to be on the song. And we end up with a video, probably one of the only videos the Scrapers got, you know, in that process. So it's like I kind of became part of the group in that moment. But that was pretty much the last I did with them. That might, you know, they were kind of dispersing at that time, breaking up, or they were moving on to other things too in life. They, you know, found spirituality. A lot of them got religious, were going more to church, and things were happening within the group, you know. And soon after that, the group stopped performing and creating anyway. So that's kind of how I got involved rapping, or, you know, with the rap group. But I mean, as a scraper is just a way of life, scraping to get by, to maintain them, to make money, hustler, scraper. And so I'm a scraper. Anyway, we all scraping, and, you know, Mo took it and started making shirts and had some stores, had the shirts in stores, and ended up turning the Scraper shop to a full t-shirt shop with the Scrapers brand. And that was pretty much how that went with the Scrapers.
Okay, yeah, you said you was in the Scraper shop. Y'all was making t-shirts and everything. But I know that you started doing production around that time, when you weren't just drumming and all that type of stuff. So is that how you got your start in production, making beats?
Right. That's around the time. It was like '99, I think. I bought my first Sonic, had the Sonic EPS. I forget where I got it from. I got it from a pawn shop or Atomic. Can't remember, or Bell or a fellow producer. But I got the EPS, and me and Carlos we started making beats and learning how to sequence and do things like that. And so hanging around the Scrapers, and this was around the time Timberland was popping off with the triples and all that on the hi-hat. So it had this Sonic that had the raw sample type sound, like, you know, ASR. It was right under the ASR. And then I needed the triple of the hi-hats and the drums, you know, I'm a drummer, so I needed that. I would hear about this MPC, man, that, you know. So the dude, Newkirk, who was producing all the beats for the Scrapers, had an MPC for sale, MPC 2000. And I bought an MPC from Newkirk. And ever since then, it's been over with the MPC. So I bought that and hooked it up to the Sonic. Of course, I done went through Tritons and Motifs since then, but when I got that MPC from Newkirk, that was a game changer. With, you know, just how close it sounds to a real drummer, the timing and the knock that it give you, that really helped me step up to production from the EPS. And with the EPS sound, you know, around that time, that was that hip-hop sound, that raw hip-hop sound. That was a beautiful thing. And now MPC get all my money. Okay, MPC, do I need to pull them out? I need to holler at me.
Sometimes when it's too much on my plate, I need to feel some treble and bass. Music take me away. The right mix for a slight escape. Just sit back, relax and push play. Music take me away. Let Stevie take me back in the day. I'm talking Motown, MJ, Mob.